everyone, this is Bonnie from Backward Story, and this is the ridiculous amount of stuff that I got this year at the Book Expo of America. Everything here is from day 2. Everything on this side is from day 1. That last pile is from before the convention even began. And I'm going to split this up into 2 videos. I'm going to do a day 1 video and a day 2 video, so watch out for both parts this week. I'm not going to go over this because it's the adult buzz panel and the one book was in the teen buzz panel, and I've already done videos for both of them, so I'm not going to go over any of that. But stay tuned and we will go over all of the books I found at BEA and which ones I am the most excited for, and I cannot wait to hear which ones you guys are the most excited for. Let's take a look. Okay, so we are going to go ahead and get started with Thursday. And of course, bags are always a very important part of BEA. They're always giving a ton out. I actually have more than what you see here, but there's bags on top of bags. And these are just a few that are the most interesting looking and that have, look at that. Because some of the bags are just plain with the publisher logos. But these ones are a lot of fun. The J.D. Robb one is actually for my mother because she loves Nora Roberts. I think it says Nora Roberts on the other side. And then my friend got me the Hank Green one, which sadly didn't have the arc in it, but that's okay because it was still really cool and it had Carl stickers. And that's too shiny to photograph well, but that's Carl. This is a poster that was autographed by Brian Selznick for the 20th anniversary of Harry Potter in the United States. New cover art is coming out in July, possibly the end of June, and then the box set is dropping in September, and he was autographing, so I got it personalized for my mom because she is a super Harry Potter fan, and I got her a signed print of the first cover for the first illustrated edition, and this is beautiful, and he did all of the artwork for Hugo Cabret as well. I love the little star he drew, so it's just beautiful. I also snagged this pin and Harry Potter, A History of Magic with this beautiful phoenix promoting the museum and A History of Magic. This is my most prized possession of BEA. It is a novel of Dear Evan Hansen. It's by Val Emmett, and it's got Stephen Levinson, Benj Pasek, and Justin Paul, who created Dear Evan Hansen for Broadway, and they're turning it into a novel. And it was absolutely going to be an amazing day, and here's why. They were signing, and I was number 20 out of 200 people who could meet them, and this is like a collectible souvenir bookmark, and we got a pin, and the absolute best part, all 4 of them signed it, and I got to meet them, and I'm not sure if my heart's beating again just yet. This is the best thing of BEA. This was my priority over anything else I wanted to do. I wanted to go to this signing and meet these amazing composers and writers and people who put together such an important and beautiful work of art, and I feel so lucky and honored to have done that. So I'm not going to go over everything I got from Disney at the Disney party because I did a separate video just for that, so look out for that. I will try to remember to link it below. I'm not going to post it now, but these are all of the books I got Thursday night after BEA. I'm also not going to go over these books just because I did a whole video just on the YA Buzz panel. Look for that below and at the end of the video as well. I had a lovely art print for I Love You More Than, signed by both Taye Diggs and Shane Evans, who wrote and illustrated the book, and Taye Diggs is a Broadway actor and a TV actor as well. I was fine with not having a book signed because I just wanted to meet them, and I saw them in a panel in the last 2 years at BEA, and they were fantastic, and I am hoping to do more with this title closer to release for Broadway World. Pachinko by Min Jin Lee is a book that I have been wanting to read since maybe Christmas or the beginning of the year, end of last year, sometime in the last few months. I started hearing about this book. It had been out for a little while, but then I started hearing about it. It was on a lot of big displays. People that I knew had read it and were talking about it, and she was doing a signing. We Are Sisters, and I'm so excited to read this. part of it takes place in Japan, and I used to live in Japan, so I love reading about books that take place there, and it's historical, and it has a blend, and I'm just really excited to finally read this. I didn't buy it before because I don't always read historical fiction, and I didn't know if I wanted to spend $16 on it, and I was really excited to not only get it, but have a chance just to meet her and tell her how well this book has been doing and how many people have recommended it, and to just let her know that. Next, we have Signe Pike's The Lost Queen, which I don't remember much about. My friend got this and said she thought I would like it and handed it to me. It comes out in July. Outlander meets Camelot, a sweeping magical tale. Next up is Lizzie Mason's The Art of Losing, and this is a book that I really wanted to get. It is coming out from Soho in February of 2019, so there's a little while to wait. But I have worked with Lizzie for a few years now. She works at Bloomsbury. We work together to promote a lot of Bloomsbury titles. She is a fantastic human being. I have met her several times, and as soon as I heard she had a book deal, I didn't care what it was about. I wanted to read it. When I heard what it was about, I wanted to read it even more. When I saw this really clever cover where the eye is like a drop of liquid falling out of a bottle and it deals with rehab, I wanted it even more. And it deals with rehab at 16 years old, and there's so much other stuff going on, and I definitely will do more with this again later, but I'm just trying to get through the pile right now. But definitely take a look at this because Lizzie is amazing. I really can't wait to read this. This is the Jojo Sewall Nickelodeon super sweet sticker book. It's got some activities and lots of stickers. My friend got this. I think she won it spinning a wheel or something, and it wasn't something she really wanted, and she was just going to drop it somewhere. And I had promised my 4-year-old niece I would try to bring her back a present from New York, and she doesn't really care what she gets. It's just presents. Like, she doesn't care if it's a picture book that's been signed to her. She doesn't understand that. She's just like, it's a present for me. But she is obsessed with JoJo and those JoJo bows the little girls wear in their hair like this, and they have the little mark like that, and you get them at Claire's, and she loves JoJo, and so she's gonna freak out that I got her a really good present, and I'm gonna get the best aunt ever award. At least I hope so. I should, because I picked up 2 LOL confetti balls for her before I left, and they turned out to be the 2 LOL dolls that she's been wanting the most, the unicorn one and the astronaut one from the new confetti wave, and she was like freaking out. So I'm already the best, but now I'll be the best. Ooh, these next 3 books, I can't even tell you which one I wanted the most because I wanted them all so badly. This is Diane Satterfield's Once Upon a River. Actually, I think the cover, yeah. This is the cover for this gorgeous book. And it says, she's the author of The 13th Tale, which is my 3rd favorite book of all time. If you've never read it, read it. Download the first chapter, sample the first chapter at the store. It's gorgeous, it's lyrical, it's one of my favorite books of all time. And it says, along the borders of the world lie others. There are places you can cross. This is one such place. And this is an adult book, but I mean, I don't know yet if it has YA crossover appeal, but it's definitely something that appeals to so many people of all ages, and it sounds fantastic, and I cannot wait to tell you more about it. The next book I'm super excited about is Jodi Picot's brand new book, A Spark of Light. I don't even know what it's about. That's not true. I think it has something to do with guns and holding up a clinic for abortion rights or something like that. And I could be wrong about that, but I'm really excited for this. My top 2 favorite adult books of all time are both by Jodi Picot, My Sister's Keeper and Keeping Faith. And then the 3rd favorite book is Diane Satterfield's The 13th Tale. So the fact that I got galleys from 2 of my favorite authors is just amazing. And then for fantasy, for adult fantasy, I really loved Naomi Novik's Uprooted, and I wanted a sequel to it so badly. And it was a standalone, and then she announced she was coming out with Spinning Silver, and I wanted it so badly. And I went to a special panel for fairy tales. You may have seen me live tweeting about it. It was with Laini Taylor, Naomi Novik, and Verena Rosner, who were all doing stuff on fairy tales. And if you were at that panel, you could go up to the publisher afterwards, tell them you were at the panel, and get a special copy of Spinning Silver. So I was super excited to get that. I cannot wait to read this book. And speaking of Verena Rosner, This is The Sisters of the Winterwood. It is brand new. It is a debut. I've never heard of the author before. They send out these newsletters at the beginning of each day that tell you a little bit about what's going to be at the show. And they had something on this, and it looked really pretty, so I looked it up on Goodreads, and it said something about, I think, like one sister turning into a swan and the other turning into a bear, or maybe it was the grandparents, I don't remember. And I was instantly sold. I wanted to read it right then and there, and then I realized it was the third author on the panel I was going to later in the day that I hadn't known who she was, and then they galley dropped it right next to Dear Evan Hansen first thing in the morning, so I was already in heaven 10 minutes into my first day at the show. I think this is going to be as big as Uprooted was, and I cannot wait to read this. This is my best find of BEA. For books that I went into knowing nothing about, this was my top favorite of the entire conference. Next, we have some tea. It is to celebrate A Little Tea Book by Sebastian Beckwith and Caroline Paul. Comes out in October. And I personally am not a tea drinker, so I got this to give to my mom because I thought it was a cute little packet. I went to a signing for Erishaw and the End of Time by Roshani Chokshi. And I know that I showed you the book earlier from Disney. This is a different version of the book. I got this at BEA. She was doing a signing, so she signed it for me. And we had a lovely little chat because we had done an interview together via email earlier this year. And J.C. Cervantes was also signing at the same time for the Storm Runner. So I have that as well. So I have 2 copies, and I'm actually giving the extra set to Caitlin, who I'm staying with, who got me that awesome Hank Green bag. So those are books that are now for her because I had them, and she actually just had a birthday this week, and so it can be part of her birthday present because I don't need that many copies of it. So I'm excited for that. They also gave us these really cute accessories. One is a sleep mask. It says, "Don't Wake the Sleeper" by Erishaw and the End of Time. And that is, the sleeper is very important to the book. The other is an umbrella for the Storm Runner, which I wouldn't necessarily have taken, but it was raining pretty badly on Thursday, and it was done by the time I got out, but I wanted the umbrella for just in case. So that was perfect timing. I also grabbed Rule by Ellen Goodlett. It is gorgeous. Look at this cover. It is insane. And it reminded me a little bit of Three Dark Crowns by Kendari Blake. This doesn't come out until September. Not too far away. But it looks really good. I'm going to be reading this one sooner rather than later. This just fell off the stack as I brought it to the desk and bent in half. So that said, I'm almost done, kind of. I'm halfway through. I am on the second pile now. This is The Wizards of Once, Twice Magic by Cressida Cowell, who wrote the How to Train Your Dragon series. This is number 2. They dropped number 1 last year at BEA, and I grabbed a copy. I haven't read it yet, but now I can continue on with number 2. Same thing with Neil Patrick Harris and the Magic Misfits. The second story came out to that as well. And I really wanted to read it. I had the ARC. I met him and got it signed at BEA, but then I bought a hardcover copy that was signed from Barnes & Noble during the Black Friday sale, but I haven't read it yet. So now I have both of those. The Flourishing of Florally, Laurel by Fiedleit Moser. I might be saying that wrong, and I might have missed what some of these letters are because they're written a little funny through the camera. I apologize if that's nothing like it. I'm having trouble reading right this second just because of the camera itself. But this kind of reminded me of the way they do stylized Little Women and Anne of Green Gables type pictures, and somebody didn't want it, and I thought that it could be an interesting read. The Summer of Us by Cecilia Vaness. This is a travel book, and it had Paris and Prague, and I forget where else in it. So I figured I'd give it a chance because I loved Anna and the French Kiss, and so I give travel books a little more of a chance than I might otherwise would with contemporary books. The next one is The Dark Deep by Ali Condi and Brendan Rex, and his mother is the author of the series that turned into the TV show Bones. He also wrote Genesis and Nemesis, which is a series that if you like things like Orphan Black, you're going to like it. This is their brand new book. If you like things that are like the show Stranger Things, you are really going to like this one. This is something that I picked up when I thought that it was a galley drop for something else, but I really like Ali Condi, and my mom really likes Brendan, and so I believe that she will read this, and I probably won't because it sounds a little more horror than I would like. But the two authors were both there, and here's a picture of them, and they were spinning the wheel, and whoever you landed on, that's the card that you got. And it could be something really dark, or it could be something really light, like it could be a unicorn or a spider or something, depending on what you spun. And it's a world that goes from beautiful dreams to terrible nightmares. So this is definitely great if you like Stranger Things. The next one is A Curse to Darken Lonely by Bridget Kemmerer, which I wanted so badly. It is a fairy tale retelling. I'm going to be doing a little bit with it in September when I do my yearly fairy tale event. So I got to see Bridget briefly today. This is not signed. I got it yesterday and couldn't make the signing today due to a panel that I'll tell you about in the next video. But I was so excited to get this because I really, really want to read this book. I loved her Elemental Magic series. She has a great contemporary series, and I'm so excited she's doing fairy tales now, so that was one I was so excited to pick up. Hello Universe, it's this year's Newbery winner. It is Erin Entrada Kelly. It is middle grade. Mandy has read it and loved it and may have even reviewed it. I'll have to check on that. I'm not sure if she did or not, but I've seen her before. She's been to Barnes & Noble, and so she signed The Dream Daughter by Diane Chamberlain. If you like Jodi Picot, you are going to like this as well. And just look at this. To my daughter, you don't know me yet. You don't know how long I've wanted you and longed for you. You may never know me. I don't know if I can find my way back to you. And if I do, I might be nothing but a stranger to you. But there's one thing that will never change. I will always be your mother. And so it sounds very intense, and I'm very excited to read this. This is the YA version of Carol Anderson's White Rage that was a huge bestseller. It is We Are Not Yet Equal, and it is still by Carol Anderson, of course, because it's the young reader edition of the book, and it's got Tanya Bolden in it, as well as a foreword by Nick Stone, who did Dear Martin last year. And this is going to be a really important book, and it's going to be something that we want to get into the hands of students and teachers everywhere, and it's definitely a great book that will get teens talking. Touch of Gold by Annie Sullivan. This is a retelling of King Midas. And I got to actually meet Annie when we were in a signing line for something else, and we had so much in common, and she is so nice, and I'm so excited to do more with her later in the year as well. Her book doesn't come out until August, but that's not so far from now, so you'll be hearing more about that soon. Shadow of the Fox by Julie Kagawa. Again, it takes place in Japan, which I will always read something that takes place in Japan. Most of the time anyway, and I am excited for this one. The cover is gorgeous. I was a little bummed that the cover wasn't on the galley for this one. Every 1,000 years, one wish will be granted. The time is near. We are down to our last 6 books. Part of Your World by Liz Braswell. This is the 5th book in the Twisted Tales series. What would happen if Ariel had never defeated Ursula? She's the queen of the mermaids and Ursula is the queen of the humans. And it's such an interesting flip. My friend actually gave this to me because she thought that I would like it because she knows I like the Little Mermaids. So I'm really excited to dive into this Twisted Tale. I just got Reflection, the Mulan one as well, where Shang dies and Mulan has to go to the underworld to save him, and it's a mashup with Hercules and Hades in the underworld. So I'm going to be reviewing that in the next month or two, and you'll be hearing about that, and then you'll hear about this one in the fall. Dry by Neil Shusterman and his son Jared. That's about a water drought. It kind of is like Urinetown the musical. Vox. This is by Christina Doucher, and it is a modern day Handmaid's Tale about women with no voice. They literally have a limitation on the speech of women and girls. They can only speak 100 words a day, and they get an electric shock if they exceed their quota. And it just sounds amazing and something that we're all going to be talking about that is going to make such an impact and be such an important book. So if you like The Handmaid's Tale, or if you're worried about where things are going right now, this might be the book for you. The Serpents Secret, Kiranmala and the Kingdom Beyond. I'm going to butcher this name, Sayantani Dasgupta. She was signing, and I've been wanting to read this, and I just haven't had a chance to pick it up yet. And I was really excited to see that she didn't have a long line and that I could scoot in. And not only did I get to meet her, this is a finished copy of the book, which is nice because I don't always keep galleys and pass it on to coworkers. And I'm going to keep that, of course, because I do keep hardcovers or paperbacks, but finished copies. Next is Sea Fire by Natalie C. Parker, and in fact, I was in line for her when I noticed that the Serpents Secret was going on because it was an overflow line and it was just going on. I was hoping to make it, and thankfully I did. Sea Fire had a very long line, but it sounds amazing, and it was definitely worth it. Oh, you know what? This isn't signed because I was one of the last people in line, and she asked if we wanted to have it signed or if we just wanted to take the book and go, and I said I didn't mind taking the book and going because I was afraid that I was going to miss the Serpents Secret if I waited another 15 minutes or so for her to sign it, so I just grabbed the galley of that one. And the last one from Thursday is After the Fire by Will Hill. The only way out of the darkness is to destroy it. And it is this amazing story of survival and escape, and it sounds like it's going to be very hard-hitting, but something that's going to be very intense and that you're going to want to read as well. So that's everything that I got for day one. What books are you most excited about? Are you excited for the same ones I am? Are you looking forward to something else completely? If these books are already out, have you read them? Did you like them? Did you get an advanced copy of something? I would really love to know your thoughts. Thank you for sticking with me through this very long video. I will talk to you guys all again soon. Bye.